Live in. Hi, we are live. This is Morgan Hazelwood back for my lazy Sunday afternoon live stream. I know I'm like a minute late, but my cat was on my lap and my dad tried to call. So I told him, hey, I've got 15 minutes to chat. And he called 20 minutes later.
Yeah.
I have Doc Coleman with me. Did you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, folks. I'm Doc Coleman. I write steampunk comedy adventure. Is currently trying to move things forward with the second novel in my Adventures of Crackle and Bang series. That would be The Kindred of Kali, which is off to a sensitivity reader. Yay!
Oh my gosh, you've been hunting for a sensitivity reader for like a year and a half?
Not quite that long, but I've been sending out feelers for a long time and getting crickets as a response. Oh. And I bumped into an old coworker on the way into work one day, and she happens to be Indian. So I asked her, "Do you know anybody that might be interested?" And she said, "Let me talk to my dad."
That's awesome! I'm so excited for you.
Yep, and it's the ridiculous thing is, it's like kind of the last thing I wanted to do was just hit somebody up because, hey, you happen to be Indian. Let me.
Yeah, no, that's a little sketch.
But hey, moving forward.
Yay! Oh, so what are you working on today?
Today the planning is housework. I've got groceries ordered. I've got recycles and trash to put out. I've got dishes to do. So it's like I'm gonna be using the stream as my rest period between doing frantic activity all over the place.
I totally get that. Definitely. I am on the Pitch Wars train again, and a friend gave me feedback that because of how I worded it, my query letter could totally work for a picture book. So I'm going to be revamping that so it reads a little older than that because it is aimed at like 8 to 10-year-olds. So
a little bit more drama.
Yeah. They're like, the main character doesn't really have much agency. And I'm like, he just wants to be left alone. So there's only a certain amount of agency you can get when it's just leave me alone. But I can definitely word it in ways that hopefully don't inspire you to think picture book.
Yeah. I mean, there have been properties that have been, somewhat successful that are based on a character who just wants to be left alone. I mean,
right.
Yeah,
but the way that I have worded it is such that, I suppose if you were reading it, it would read like a picture book. Let's try and like pump it up just a little bit instead of, they want this nebulous thing. Can't wait to grow up and get out of the house. Might be a little more specific and yet also.
Well, I'm just reminded of the movie Hudson Hawk, which was all about a man who wanted to have a cappuccino, that just got out of jail and wanted to have a cappuccino. That was the whole movie was about.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So that's what I'm going to be working on. Let's go pop over to the comments and see who is here. Mint Ghost is trying to put the kid down for a nap, but so far not so good. Andy is here. Hello. Jacob is here. Hello. Andy celebrated that you got a reader and totally says it feels like it's been a year and a half.
It does.
Andy is editing away on his noir story all day and is finally to the last scene. And then we'll export and get it to his first reader. Awesome. That's some pretty shiny progress. Devin is here. Hello and welcome. We've got a Kibby. Hello. Yes, we do have a Catechus. Catechus is gnawing on anything he can get his gnawer on. We had an incident earlier this week.
Oh my.
of the no, we don't attack mama's ankles, and he continues to refuse to speak English. And after 3 thwarted attempts for the Andy said, catechist citing, drink. After 3 failed attempts at getting at my ankle, he's like, oh, you're going to thwart me with your arm? He leapt at my arm, and gravity helped, and it's healing, but
ooh, that's a mark. Couple marks.
That to there is that's how big his mouth is.
Ah.
And gravity helped with the ripping it open. So that was the first real bite that made me bleed. And I let him know that I was not happy, and he did not get playtime for like a day and a half. So
yeah.
So I went to bed, no more playtime, whole next day, nothing. After I got home from work the next day, I was like, okay, you're still a kitten. You need playtime, or your energy is going to like boom, boom, boom.
Or he'll just get worse.
Right, yeah. Exactly. So, hello, MK Kids. MK Kids is going to be working on their edits for book 1 in their, what was it, a 7-book series, I want to say. So that's awesome. Editing can take forever. It can take an eternity. It really can.
Yep.
So.
And over on the Twitch side, we've got a Blinker Bell stopping into say
yes. Hey. Oh, did I not say hi to Blinker Bell? Hello, yep. And welcome. Always good to have you. So. Are we ready? Do we think we want to do the thing with the stuff where we're productive? And where we refill our water with something the cat hasn't been drinking?
I was a little thirsty, so I needed to get a sip. But
I usually drink it down to about there, so even sticking his head in won't get to the water. But I just topped it off before sitting down and going live, so he got to it before I could sip at it, because I was like, oh my gosh, it's like 3 up. Dad, get off the phone. I gave you a time window because that's the time I had. So, but yeah, Dad is prepping for ChessieCon, which is this coming weekend, which is a small local writing convention that promises to be not a super spreader event, but also low key and friendly and things and stuff. So. Yeah. Andy asked, ChessieCon is going? And I said, oh, wait. What's the one this coming weekend? Is it ChessieCon? I want to say, sorry, 2 seconds. Let me check my email. No, this weekend is something else. ChessieCon. We're not sure what is happening with ChessieCon because FEMA will continue using the hotel for quarantine housing through the end of the year in November. What's this coming weekend? I can't remember. Berlin.
I will admit that I have been gotten away from the con schedule because of
Capclave.
The whole
Capclave is this weekend. I'm sorry. ChessieCon is hoping to sort out its hotel issues.
Yeah.
Yes, Capclave.
Yeah, without the I, Andy.
There we go. So, anywho, Dad may or may not be retiring from running con suites after a 50-year run. He's a bit cranky about the state mandate that everything needs to be individually packaged, because that means you can't just buy 2-liter, and it does horrible things for the food budget.
And yet you can run a soda fountain.
So,
yeah.
I mean, and you can't put out a cheese tray.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you going to do? I guess you could get like the baby bells and people could like take and open them because they're sealed in wax.
Yep, baby bells would work.
Right? It's either that or like individual sliced craft slices for a cheese tray. And I don't think anybody actually wants a cheese tray of craft singles.
Yes. Well, craft singles are incredibly popular. Most people don't just eat them in individual slices.
I mean, after the age of 3.
Although string cheese.
Cheese sticks would definitely work too.
String cheese would definitely work.
I don't like string cheese though. Wine. It's all about me. Oh, goodness. Okay, so let's go into my
toddler snacks.
Right. Go-Gurt.
Go-Gurt.
We totally need Go-Gurt. So individually wrapped from the supplier, from the host, could they prepare and wrap things? I'm not sure. That's a good question.
They probably could prepare and wrap things, but one, it's a pain, and two, there may be certifications about the environment where you're preparing it. So it's not like you could bake cookies at home and then cling wrap them.
And food training, maybe. Because I don't think my dad has ever done food things. Blinkerbell says, I never ate anything open at cons. There is a certain genre of science fiction convention that has a thing called a con suite. And in it, it has not great food, but like snack trays and open bowls of chips and that sort of thing, just for the, teenager or the person going on a budget who really needs a snack to keep from going into a hypoglycemic shock, and to, you can slap together a peanut butter and jelly sandwich or whatever, just enough calories to get through the convention weekend and something to drink.
Yeah, it's usually donated foodstuffs, and it's it'll keep you moving in the same direction, but there's no saying how far you'll get.
Right. So and everybody knows that a veggie tray, if you do like individual packaged, is a lot more work than having a tray out. And with budget concerns, dad usually chops the carrots himself rather than getting the pre-bought, pre-prepped stuff. Yeah. Andy says, basically, it's a quick snack so you don't crash, in a place where you can chat while snacking. So it's, a place to hang out. Kat, we have talked about my ankles. What do we do with Mama's ankles? Does the audience know what we do with Mama's ankles? Is it don't bite them? Don't nom them. So anyway, let's go ahead and get to our first sprint. I have a query to make it sound like it's not a picture book. So let's get started. I'm going to share my screen. I am going to share my audio. I'm going to go over to the Chrome tab option and productivity timer. There you go. So I'm doing 25 minutes, but still 21 seconds because it's 2021 and it still amuses me. So let's go ahead and get started in 3, 2, Catechist says, let's go. Only consensual ankle nomming. And we're back.
Yep.
So, how was your sprint?
Let's see. My shopper got my groceries done.
Oh, nice.
And I got recycles into the outside bin, took some trash out, did a bunch of dishes, loaded up the dishwasher, and got it started. And got back here in time for the alarm to go. So
I feel like such a slacker. I accomplished emptying my water cup, but I did actually revise my entire query. I threw away the old one and I started over from scratch. And I think it sounds more like a middle grade book and less like a picture book. So I'm just going to try and get a second opinion before I move forward with that. But I think it sounds a little less like a picture book. Because I realized if you're unfamiliar with the story, and then I reread my query, and I was like, oh. Also, picture books don't get full queries because a query letter might be longer than a picture book.
Yeah, might be longer than the actual book. So it sounds like we were both productive.
Yeah.
I broke a sweat, and you're sweating over the query.
Camera fist bump.
Oh.
Okay, so let's pop over to the comments because I see we had a lot of people show up. And Ward made it. Hello. And Laura. Hello. And Barrett. Hello and welcome. You made it to my stream this week. Awesome to see you. MK Kit says, I was at a good part. You can keep going. Just because I'm babbling doesn't mean you can't just like mute me and keep rolling if you're like on a roll. I never want to stop anybody's progress if it's going, you know? If it's my progress, you'll see me be like, KB got, whoa, marching along, 426 words.
Right, like the wind.
For chapter 9. So that's pretty sweet. And Andy finished the whole chapter or whatever part he was on. And the story is done and is being emailed to the alpha reader as we speak. Oh my gosh. What is this? I'm going to have to cross out the lazy and it's not even nano. So, hey, awesome sprint.
It may be lazy, but it's still productive.
Oh, so that's super awesome. I'm very excited for everyone. Yeah. Whew. Getting ready for the pitch wars. Oh my goodness.
So how exactly does pitch wars work?
So pitch wars is an opportunity for a mentor. So you pitch up to 4 mentors, and they're all published or at least have publishing contracts already in hand. And they want to give back to the community. And so they, I think it's a 3-month period, but they're going to work with you on your story. And help you work through a complete revision. And then at the end, there is a spotlight, and basically they pitch all their stories and the agent showcase, that's what it's called. And a bunch of agents will come through and go through and read them. Most people in pitch wars get the bonding experience. There's over 3,000 people per whatever. And there's like 25 mentors, and they can only take on 1 person. So,
so you're pitching to the mentors.
Yes.
So that they will hopefully choose you and then work with you on, are they working with you on the book, or they're working with you on
the full manuscript?
Okay. They're working with you on the book. And then once you're done and you've received the benefits of their wisdom, you still then have to pitch it out to agents, but there are agents watching this process that may give you a first nod. Okay.
Becoming, getting in the agent showcase works about as well as a Twitter pitch party. The popular ones get everybody's attention and the other ones just sit there. But getting everyone's attention is no guarantee of getting an agent. It just means it reads snappy. but
it lets you get a lot more attention for your personal outlay of energy.
Yeah.
But it does mean that if you get enough attention to get in, you have to be committed with this because you've got a time. You've got somebody else's timeline that you've got to produce on.
100%.
Catechus, everyone drink.
No, he's over there. He's
over there behind you.
Oh, he is. Side. He's right there. Okay. I heard his I got him a flat scratching post thing with like the ball that goes around the outside edge of the scratching pad, and it lights up when he bats it, and it was still going around from the last time he batted it, so I didn't realize he was right behind me. So he snuck up. But yeah, so Pitch Wars it's a community, but it's also an opportunity to get a mentor and, you know, fix your book if it's not working. You need to have something that is query ready, though. You know, it's got to be done. It's got to be polished. It can't just be, you know, here's my rough draft, unless you draft really cleanly or you have a really fascinating idea that, you know, really catches the attention of one of the mentors. Because part of it is mentors are looking for things they know how to fix and that complement what they can help you with. But also there is some level of competitiveness where they want to pick something that will pitch easily so that they can brag about their mentee having succeeded.
Right.
And so there is some level of that as well. But, you know, I've had friends who have gotten selected and gone on to become mentors. And I've had friends who didn't get a single nibble, but got an agent. So it's publishing. There is no one way. There is no one path. So, but
as an independent author, I'll agree with that.
it's a great, you know, way to get, you know, hopefully take your writing to the next step. And, you know, without paying any money.
Right.
Assuming you can get the attention of, you know, a mentor and that they're interested. So, yeah.
So
my odds are pretty slim, but it never hurts to write your query because it helps you realize what are the themes in your story and what and I highly suggest everyone write a query letter and a synopsis after the rough draft so they can see where the story is and where they want it to go. And maybe that way, when you go into your revisions, you can make that theme and that sort of, you know, plot line really pop.
I got to jump up for a second because my groceries are about to arrive.
Do it. Okay, let's go ahead and pop into a sprint then. I'm going to go ahead and get started while he goes and gets his groceries. So let's go ahead and get started. If I can find the tab in 3, 2, 1, boom. Let's go do it. And we're back.
Yay.
How was your sprint? Grocery-licious?
Groceries are in and put away. And actually had time to sit down and comment on stuff in the chat and get out some snacks, because productivity is incomplete without snacks.
It's true. I'm snack powered. It's true.
And it occurred to me that since I'm powered by Chex Mix today, that this is one of those snacks that you should not eat on mic.
And with a lot more water.
Mm.
So, Catechist would like to say it's time to nom on mom. But let's see. During the sprint, I did a little bit of cleanup. I managed to. How about we look at my face while I'm talking? Sorry, Catechist. I managed to
knock both in here. It's a nice two-shot.
Right. I managed to knock a thing of pretzels off top of my fridge while trying to get some chips, and so I swept that up. And I'm waiting explosion. So I'm waiting to hear back from my query buddy who I rewrite queries with on Wednesday nights. Somebody liked our query rewrite so much they found my coffee tip jar and gave me a WordPress subscription for a month, and to buy toys for Catechist, obviously.
So the audio garbled for a second. Somebody liked your query rewrite so much they found your coffee and got you a month or two of WordPress.
A month of WordPress with no ads and some toys for Catechist.
Okay.
So super excited because I think that's the second person to hit up my coffee.
Oh.
So I don't push it because, I still have a day job, and I know there are other writers that need it more, but I do think that people show where they find value with money sometimes when they're able.
It's a nice reinforcement that people appreciate what you're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had a tip jar up on my website, but I've never gotten it. And again, I guess I'm not really driving traffic to the website. I'm trying to drive traffic to the bookstore. So.
Right. I hear that. So Barrett appreciated grocery-licious and enjoyed kitty time. Andy did some updates to his world notes based on the short story and now needs to take care of his kitty, Zoe, and head to dinner. So have a good dinner, and congrats on finishing your story and getting it out. That's awesome. Jacob is apparently playing with his cat as well. So I saw his cat on Friday, and his cat can sometimes be very persistent. So I totally
he's someone
get
that Catechist has learned from.
Right. Oh,
Catechist needs to learn more about consensual nomming.
He does. But right now he's being sweet. So sorry, he's facing me and not you, so you can't see the half closed eyes of.
My kitties are asleep on the couch, so it's like.
I gave him my hand, and now he's nomming it.
Yep.
Could he nom the knuckles instead of the palm? Sometimes.
Don't know.
Sometimes. So.
It's like he's cleaning you.
I mean.
Which goes back into the shower discussion in the chat earlier.
Right. So I was thinking really hard while we were on a break. Kibby got some more words done and then had to head off to go shower. And I wished her well. And Doc asked, "What does showering well mean?" And I said, "May the hot water last longer than your shower," which I think is really what we all want out of a shower, except for those people who do cold showers. I've heard of it. It seems wrong. But
I think the cold shower thing has got much more to do with other things going wrong in their lives. But
so overheating. My sister for a while, for 3 years, could not take hot showers because she'd start to pass out. And she figured it out. It's because she, went from eating takeout on the way to dance class and, you know, college cafeteria food, to moving in with her then husband, who didn't cook with salt. Salt was added after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
And so she didn't have enough sodium to handle the heat.
Interesting.
Once she added more salt to her diet, she could have a hot shower again.
Interesting. Because I know I've always been a fan of hot showers, but I will slowly turn the temperature down as the shower goes on so that I'm not stepping out of the shower covered with sweat. Unfortunately, I have a habit of showering on Sunday mornings and then doing things like this and getting sweaty. Yeah. Ooh.
Hi, Catechus. Why don't we say hi to our audience? Hi, instead of eating well. Sorry.
Catechus got a little violent there. Oh.
I mean, he hasn't nommed on me in days. In days. Can you imagine how much gnawing is like built up in that kitty? And the batteries just popped out of my mouse.
I thought for a second the mouse was being a lemming, but
no. Here, play with your what? Okay.
You okay?
We're having a discussion. Unfortunately, Catechus continues to not speak English. It's tragic. It's tragic.
Or at least feigns a lack of understanding.
Right. So I think it's a wisdom-based skill, showering well. We're not looking at Mama's face. Mama's face is not a thing we look at. Okay. Okay. Be good. Be good. I know you're all wound up. I will get the spray bottle and I will spray your face. Don't think I won't. Let's go to Sprint while Catechus and I have a stare down.
And hello, Tessa. Thank you for joining me.
Hi. Ow. Haha. He doesn't like the knocking sound. Oh, sorry about that. He got a little wound up there. So let's go ahead and find my... Oh, wait. I can't touch screen my secondary screen. That doesn't work so well.
Because your mouse has just ejected its batteries onto your floor.
Yeah. So... Yeah. What? My mouse was here. Why did that open? That was weird. Anyway. Hello, Tessa. I know Doc said hi to you a little while ago. But yeah. So
didn't want you to think we were ignoring you, Tessa.
Right. So let's go ahead and get started. And I'm going to reassemble my mouse and stare at my synopsis some more.
All right.
And there we go. And we're back. Catechus chilled out as soon as we went on break, so.
Go figure.
Clearly, he's a camera hand.
And you didn't have to do anything like shut him into a separate room.
No. He's napping on the backside of the microphone right now.
I don't know. I guess his timer just expired.
I did throw his mouse for him for about 2-3 minutes. So I guess that was enough attention, and now he's okay. So how was your sprint?
Well, I was supposed to get up and go do some hand wash dishes, but after all the other stuff I've done, I was just too tired to do that. So I sat here and munched on my snacks and did some research into promotional bookmarks to see about finishing up the bookmark that I did a couple weeks ago.
Oh, nice.
I think I've got a good solid design for the cover, but I need to work out what I need to put on the backside.
Legit.
And now I've got a cat snuggling up against me. So how was your sprint spent?
I have 90% prepped this week's author spotlight, which I totally forgot to post last week because it was suddenly Wednesday and there was no author spotlight. So let's see. Popping into the comments, I see we got a Ginny and a Morgan. Hello. And Eva popped over because she's Butter Blinkerbell on the other one. And Kelly swung by. I guess, I don't know. It's a Sunday, so maybe he was biking or just doing other stuff. But not too late. So Tessa is working on a new beginning and then a rewrite for their memoir. Nice. I hope it's going well. I know this can be really kind of fraught to write because you have to, dwell on memories that sometimes are really good and sometimes are really bad. And even the good ones are sometimes, there's that level of nostalgia of things that will never be again. So Morgan got 583 words done. Holy bleep. Making some steady progress there, making me feel like a slacker, but I mean that's not actually hard. I'm not a sprinter.
And yet you're running sprints.
I mean, I write in sprints, but they're not. I don't expect huge productivity during each sprint. It just gives me a focused time to. Wait, does that mean I am a sprinter?
I don't know. I would just sit down and write for chunks of time. But when I started coming over here and hanging out and doing sprints with you, I found I was actually much more productive during the sprints. And a part of that is because during this section of the show, my mind's on everything else. Right. So when I get back to the actual writing, it kind of brings everything into sharp focus really quickly.
Yeah. I know for me, 20 minutes, 25 tops for writing. Editing, I can go much longer chunks. Editing, I have to go longer chunks, which is why sprints don't normally, I can't get much editing done during a sprint. Because just by the time I get into the groove, the sprint's over. And then I have to dive out of that world and then back in again, and I'm not great at that. That's not one of the things I do well. There's a reason I can write on my phone in the car in the middle of a party. If I stand over in the corner for like 20 minutes, can't edit anywhere except at home. And I don't really edit to music. I write to music, can't edit to it. So
yeah, I mean, I trained myself to write under any conditions, kind of like you were describing.
Yeah.
And I just carried it over to editing. I mean, I don't know. It may also be a question of, okay, when you're editing, how much stuff are you really pulling out? So it may be that I'm polishing, but I'm not really pulling out major things.
Right.
Major things
line edits are very different than like revising, you know.
Yeah. I think it might be interesting for me to try to edit some else's stuff.
Yeah. Also, yeah, beta reading worked a lot better when I wasn't trying to do it during a sprint.
Yeah.
So yeah. Which might be part of the reason why it took me forever to finish that one Orcish Manners beta read. But once I got started, I got through it in 3 days. Because I'm a binge reader. I'm not a person who will read a book over 3 weeks. I'll read it tonight or I won't read it.
Yeah.
So.
And it's for readers like you that I try to keep my books around 100,000 words.
You're welcome.
Yes, you're welcome. I just once tried to do a beta read for a friend of mine, and her manuscript was over 300,000 words. And
I think I know that story. I think I helped rewrite the query and said, "Hey, you need to split this or go non-traditional."
Yeah. The last I checked, she was definitely below 180,000. So she did a lot of work with cutting.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the early days, it was a lot of where did this come from and why is there so much description? Yeah.
I definitely will tell my beta readers, and I started skimming here to get to the action because I get the point. It's a very pretty ballroom. So bump into the comments. Tessa said the first time she wrote the memoir, she eliminated the bad things, and their editor said they needed to redo that.
Yeah. I mean, as much as we don't want bad things in our lives, they put the good ones in perspective.
People who read memoirs are usually drama llamas, and they want that drama.
Oh. They also want to see how you got through the bad things and got on.
Yeah, that too. Sorry, right? Of course.
It's two sides of the same coin.
Right. Kelly was not biking. He was looking for shoes, early shopping. The inventory with brick and mortar continued to be disappointing. I get that. Eva says, I try to stay in it when editing. My favorite part of the editing are the cuts. Snip, snip. I have to agree. I find I write long and then I trim, and I love what's left behind. It's so much tighter and cleaner and more concise. And I love what editing does to my work. And when you read it and you're like, whoa, I wrote that. That's a feeling, you can't really get away from. Kelly just called me a drama llama, and I would like to say I am very much a genre reader. I will read memoirs, but they're not my jam. I would say people whose jam is memoir reading are drama llamas.
In Kelly's defense, I don't think he's calling you a drama llama as much as pointing out the phrase drama llama, because not everyone heard that.
I thought that was in common parlance.
Different circles, different comment.
Common parlance. Eva says,
I did my best, Kelly.
Eva's writing a fictionalized memoir and has found herself struggling to balance with good. Definitely a drama-loving genre. Keep the bad, but include the lesson and the resolution. And each bad should lend to a good or a highlight in a good way. Of course, memoir is a bit different because it's your life, but invoke those emotions and then tie it with a bow. Yeah. So that sounds really good.
I mean, Jenny, drama was originally intended to reflect life.
Yeah. Drama as a genre. Right, yeah. So Jenny spent most of the day doing research for their Nano project. Are you doing Nano? Do you know if you're doing Nano this year?
Yes, I've got book 3, and even though I'm already 30,000 words into it, it's going to be another 100,000 word book. So not only am I planning on doing Nano and doing the Rage of Ragnarok for that.
The Rage of Ragnarok?
The Rage of Ragnarok. It's the book about Viking sky pirates over Southeast Asia.
I mean, obviously.
How can you not love that?
Right.
But not only am I doing Nano, I've got a bunch of use or lose this year. Thank you, pandemic. And so I've decided I'm just going to take a whole week off in the middle of November and just do full-time writing for a week.
Oh, wow.
And so it's like, if I start poorly, that should help me catch up. If I do well, that should help me nail it.
Right? That's awesome. I mean, when I've tried to write all day on like a Sunday, I end up getting all my words done by 8 p.m. for the day and just like dragging it out. But it's been a couple years since I've tried an all-day write, so I might try that again.
Well, this is kind of a test run for retirement when I'm no longer working full-time, but writing full-time.
Yeah.
And it's like, I want to get up in the morning and do a 6-hour day of writing and have the rest of my time to myself.
That's pretty awesome. By putting constraints around it, you don't end up with that I should be writing all the time feeling. I'm going to give a second try at that space fantasy. Yes. I won NaNoWriMo, but I didn't like where the story was going, and the ending kind of got boring where it was going. It switched genres on me, and that's not what I wanted. So I'm going to try a few techniques to get it back on the rails and rewrite it.
Cool.
Getting the word count is probably going to be okay because I can copy paste a lot, but there's a lot of structural things I'm changing also. So
we prefer the term recycling.
Recycle. Yes. Yeah. More discussion on Tessa's memoir. Tessa says, yes, I was told I needed to show more of my feelings and express the bad, as all I did was tell a nice story about a happy family, and we were anything but that. For Eva, my work in progress is based loosely on my mother's life. What made it easier for me is swapping memoir to inspired by, very fictionalized. Yeah. Easier to find those emotions when I let the emotions tell it rather than the real events, what helped my reader feel those emotions. That's my guide, but I don't know things, honest. I'm just having fun. So let's see. Kelly says, if only I could just sit down for a long block of time and write, currently doing so in bits and pieces. Other than revising some shorts, I've done no fresh writings and a couple poems. I've done no fresh writing since March. None.
Are you feeling ready for it?
Also, work got really messy, and that should loosen up in the next week or two. So that should help. So Ginny says, my Nano project, is a cult/serial killer thriller. Something way out of my comfort zone, but fun to research so far. Awesome. I love it. I love it. So, well, we are at 6:33, and I would love to go again, but I actually have another meeting in an hour, so I should probably grab some dinner. So, Eva says, we are closer to knowing our moving date, and soon we'll know our actual destination. So Eva hopes to be able to do nano level writing again by November. The rest of this month in October, just relocation. Womp, womp.
Sounds very military. When you know you're moving, but you don't know where.
I am assuming military with we almost know where and we almost know when. Yeah, thanks for joining us. Always good to have you. Definitely. So, did you want to do your outro, Doc?
Sure. I am Doc Coleman. I write steampunk comedy adventure. I am the author of The Adventures of Crackle and Bang. The first book is The Perils of Prague, and hopefully by this time next year, we will also have The Kindred of Kali published. So you can find my stuff by searching Doc Coleman steampunk in your favorite search engine, and that should let you.
Doc, you can find my stuff in the links below.
Or you can go to the links below. Yeah, but
hi. Oh,
I know you put the links there. I'm doing the search engine bit because it's memorable, and then I go to the link.
Gotcha. Also,
but you'll find my web page, you'll find my Amazon author page, and all my other stuff.
Yeah. Also, I don't think the links are on the Twitter or Twitch side.
Yeah.
So
it's important to get that out there for those Twitchy people.
True. Sorry, my bad. And I'm your host, Morgan Hazelwood. I am an actively querying fantasy author. I sent out 5 queries last week and got 2 form rejections already. I also blog, vlog, and podcast, writing tips and writerly musings, writing tips from the pros, and my own writerly musings. This week, I was talking about why I'm still trying to go traditional instead of indie. And then I got the rejections. But for now, I'm still doing the traditional. And over on Writing Tips and Writerly Musings, the name of my podcast, it's everywhere. I talked about how I think I used to be an extrovert and now I just want to stay home. So if you can relate to that or know people who can, maybe check that out. So I will be probably doing query rewrites on Wednesday nights. I'll be blogging on Thursday, and I'll be back again next Sunday for more writing sprints. So thank you all for coming, and I hope you have a great week. Bye.
Keep writing.